Live fitter and longer with the Fitzness Show, hosted by fitness expert, author, and TV personality Fitz Koehler. She'll tell you why diets are dumb, supplements are snake oil, and the truth about how you can earn a lean, hard, pain-free, and athletic body. Now for our favorite bossy blonde, Fitz Koehler.
Well, hi, team. I'm Fitz Koehler, your outrageously bossy fitness pro from fitzness.com, and welcome to the Fitzness Show. Today, we've got a guest that's going to do SOAPBOX. That's right, my favorite format where people come on and tell you things you should know, at least 10 things they want you to know. I have no idea what's on his list of things, but I bet it's going to be spectacular. Before we get there, don't forget to click like and subscribe wherever you listen to the show. That means if you subscribe, then whenever I publish Happy Noise and start telling you what to do, you will be able to immediately respond and hit play and absorb all of my nonsense. That's what I'm going to ask you right now is click freaking subscribe. Okay, so SOAPBOX. Here we go. My guest is Mr. Jed Etters. He's a powerhouse in the world of sales, known for reshaping how professionals perform and win. And I love that because who doesn't want to win or perform well? We don't want to have low standards. So today he's here to share the mindset and strategy that fuel real, lasting success. Hello, Jed Etters.
Fitz, it's so good to be here with you. I got to tell you, I was so pumped to be on here. I actually did some push-ups and did a little fitness just to get prepped for this.
Nice. I love having that random impact on people. So thank you for making me feel like a valuable person.
It's not so random. I mean, your whole show is Fitzness, so I think that it says it all.
Yeah. Step it up, folks. If you're going to come on my show, we require push-ups, et cetera, or else you may not do your best, right?
That's right. But, it all starts with mindset, right, Fitz?
Before we get there, though, tell me where you live.
I'm in sunny San Diego. It's really tough to be here. But, I think it's 70 degrees and sunny. Here we are in December 2025, and it's just a hard place to live, I got to tell you.
Well, we are also very sad for you. Tisk, tisk. Do you have any idea how many of my people are in the north and they're sending me all these photos of their beards frozen from running in the snow? My friend Froda from Fargo, I think it was going to be like 40 below in Fargo's. Outrageous, right?
It's crazy. But you know what? There's a reason why I moved here, and it's to avoid that exact thing. So Frodo, I'm really sorry that you have to deal with the frozenness.
But you know what? He's a Norwegian, a real from Norway Norwegian.
So he already likes it anyway. So he's excited to be in it.
Yeah, he's probably out in his ice bath, out in the snow and the blizzard wind. He's wild like that. But you and I, sunshine and warmth for the most part. So did you make your list of 10 things?
I did. And whether you like them or not, you can grade that at the end. Or if you're watching this and you like it or not, I say then, comment. Let me know what you think. So how about that?
So, and really, it's your soapbox. So whatever you have to say, we're going to ingest. So, Mr. Etters, can you please step up on your soapbox?
Soapbox away. Okay, here's one of my big things is that with social media taking over the world, right? I think that there's like this pressure for people to overshare. And in fact, I talk about oversharing like in my book, Shut Up and Win, that I did. And there's like a whole section on oversharing. So if you are an oversharer, this is not meant to offend you, but like, let's talk about this. Okay. So people are oversharing. And I had a conversation actually just today with one of the gals that works with me. And she was like, Jed, you know what? I really have a hard time with social media because it is one of those things where I go through these phases where I'm okay, posting a little bit about what's going on, but I feel like it's driving me. And to the point where, and then she mentioned someone that posts like, they've got their kid in the car, they're driving to Costco, they're getting gas, they're doing everything. But like all these people love to just watch. It's like this reality TV show. So there's this pressure for people that maybe aren't as performing as well in certain industries to make a spectacle out of themselves and overshare to death. And I think that is definitely an issue that I see. I don't know. What do you think, Fitz? Do you see that?
I completely agree. I mean, I don't want to know what's going on in your bathroom. And I don't want to know if you're arguing with your spouse or if they cheated. I see so much weird stuff on social. And I think, oh my gosh, why are you telling us all that? Like, have some things you got to keep in the closet or at least keep in your personal space. Not everything should be published.
Well, and my rule of thumb, and I don't know if you would agree with this, but is, I come from the day of the paper, the newspaper. I know that makes me so old. But, I say if you wouldn't put it on the front of the newspaper where it gets a piece of paper that gets delivered to every single person's door,
Yeah.
then don't put it on social media. Okay? That is definitely one of my big things. But on that, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna elaborate even more.
Okay.
So we've got that. I told her, I said, don't let social media run you. You get to decide what part of your life you want to share with those around you. And I think that that's the thing is like, a lot of people have messaging that they want to get out there. It's really good. Fitz, you're one of those. You've got some great messages. You're empowering people. This is a strong message. This is really good. And then other people just put things to put things. And I think that there was this great story that I heard, and it really, really kind of meant a lot to me. There was this world-renowned photographer, and he would take these amazing, amazing shots of nature. You'd have an eagle fly down and grab the fish out of the water, and he'd catch just the perfect moment, or maybe like eggs hatching, or just like these a bear coming out of the woods, and
Right.
like just these amazing things. And so he would take all these pictures to share with everyone. And when asked about it, he said that there were some really amazing pictures that he never took. He would get down to the moment where something about the bird was about ready to swoop, and he would pause and he wouldn't take the picture. And somebody asked him, they said, well, why didn't you take the picture? And he said, because that one was for me. And there's certain points in our lives that are so special and so important that we kind of deserve to keep those for ourselves, is kind of what that told me. I don't know.
I love that. I love that. You know where I really feel that is when I'm at a concert. I buy a ticket, I go see a performer that I love and I'm excited about. Half the arena has their camera out the whole time. And, sometimes I just feel like this thing is being recorded by professionals. If I want to go on YouTube tomorrow, I can get a video of Garth Brooks singing that song. It doesn't need to come from my camera. If I put my phone down, I could just be in the moment and I can sing along with Garth and take in the experience versus trying to, I don't know, are we all professional photographers? Do we have to be the documenter of everything? I don't know. So, yeah, I love that. This one's for me.
By capturing everything, we're losing a lot.
I agree. I agree.
So,
Well, you hit it out of the park with number 1, Jed. So,
okay,
what you
we're gonna
got?
keep on going. I'm gonna plow through 10. Okay. Here's kind of I like things that make you think. Okay. And so there was something that I learned. I don't know. Have you ever heard of rapid eye movement?
Yes.
Okay, so there's quite a few people that will be trained on what eye movement means, and how people are accessing their memories. It's interesting because people's brains really work like a computer, right? All of our brains do, and you do something and then you get something back out, right? So it's kind of like a computer program, for lack of a better description. But there's this interesting thing that if someone is accessing memories, they actually have to move their eyes in a certain direction. And so with that simple tip, so if I ask you, Fitz, I say, hey, what did you have for breakfast 2 days ago?
Okay. Up.
See, and she looks up. Okay. So that says right there, Fitz is more of a picture person. So she thinks in pictures. She's trying to picture what she had for breakfast. So there, it's interesting, and there's really about 5 different ways that people will move their eyes to access memories, and by seeing that, it gives us a clue how people will communicate and what is meaningful to them. And I think that that is a really powerful tool. If you know how to use it, then you can see, quite literally see, what people are thinking.
How interesting. Where do people learn more about that? What do they search?
Yeah, you can go online and you can just search rapid eye movement, and you can see what it actually breaks down to. But there's a bunch of things that you can find, though, on how our brains work, and what what we do is correlated to where we will end up, right? And that's just across everything, right? So if you work out, you're going to end up fit.
Mhm.
If you if you eat really bad, you're going to end up fat. If you're going to pay attention to people, you'll capture more of what's going on with them. There's a result with everything that we have there. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting thing to soapbox about.
Yeah, yeah. It makes me want to go research that a little more.
You definitely should.
I will.
You'll start looking and you'll ask people questions. You're like, which way are they looking? Uh, it's not something to like stop and like thinking about, but once you get pretty good at it, then it's kind of interesting, because there's one eye movement. If you look towards your heart, then that means you're feeling something. So, for instance, I asked this one lady, I said, "Hey, how's things going on with your husband?" She looks to her heart and looks upset. Things probably weren't going too well. So it kind of
Yeah.
told me like, "Hey, this is what's going on," but then I know how to handle that situation a little bit better. So there's clues and different things that are going on there. It's really helps with sales and just communication in general.
I was just going to say, do you use that in sales?
You have to. You have to. You got to pick all the clues up and use what you can, not to manipulate people, but to understand people, so that way you have a better idea where they're at. I think the goal of sales in general is usually to help people achieve their goal. That really should be sales, right? Whatever your goal is, let me help you do that. It's the discovery process of what is going to be best for you. What are you looking for is the part that I think a lot of people kind of mess up.
And we will be right back.
Ho, ho, holy cow. The holidays are upon us and it's time to go shopping. That's right. If you are looking for a meaningful and affordable gift to give to all your friends and family, stop by fitzness.com. Right now, we're running a special on fitzness.com. It's order 4 books, get 1 free. And you can do that in like 7, 8, 10 sets of that, depending on how many friends and family members you have. Yeah, spend 20 something bucks on a book and upgrade your friends' lives forever. Help them look, feel, and perform better forever. Sounds like a generous gift to me. So go shopping at fitzness.com. No matter how many books you order, they all will come signed. They all will come with their special little Fitzy gift, and they will all be packaged with love. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
We're back.
So here's interesting. We're going to take a little sidebar right now, but it's fascinating with my new book. I loathe sales. It just makes me so heebie-jeebie. I'm a giver, not a taker. In my whole career, when an individual has passed me any money, I have felt uncomfortable with it. Now, when a corporation drops a few grand in my bank account, I feel very comfortable about that. But it's that individual, someone's giving me money in exchange for my information or my time or my guidance for some reason. It's got this, oh, that bothers me type thing. But I have learned that, for example, this book, if I get it in people's hands and they actually read it, their life will be better. They will change. I have zero doubts. So it's okay. If I can convince them to get it, then it'll be better their life will be better. I'll be serving them. But the whole exchange of money thing is a real problem for me. Jed, what do you think?
Well, I think like, look, I don't think there's some different mentalities when it comes to money. Okay. And there's definitely, I think sometimes people feel if I'm taking money, then that feels like I'm taking something.
Yeah.
I think the second you look at it as they're investing,
Yeah.
because that's really what they're doing. So like with your book specifically, right? You're giving people an opportunity to help them better their life, which is an investment, right? I wouldn't say that like if I paid, I don't know what's your book, $16, $17,
25, 35, depending on which. Yeah.
$25. If $25 and I could avoid having a heart attack because I'm actually more physically fit or whatever, do you feel guilty about that?
No, not at all. Not
Okay.
at all.
No, because it's a really good effect for me, right?
Yeah.
So would that be you taking something from me or would that be investing? All you're doing is helping me realize what a good investment of my time and money would be. That's not selfish. That's actually giving, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I think a lot of this is sometimes when people give us something, we feel like we owe them something. And so I think the thing that we owe people, in my opinion, is to do our best and to give them value. I don't think that there is this intrinsic, you owe me for the rest of your life. You gave me $25 and
Right.
I know
Yeah.
you now owe me the rest of your life. No, that's not, I don't think that's how it is. But sales, in my opinion, is part of everything we do.
Yeah.
You have to, even when you just walk into a place and you introduce yourself, you are selling your product, your brand to those people. Sales has gotten a really bad rep. And the reason why, and I talk about this and I keep referencing my book, but I talk about this in Shut Up and Win, my book, because there's the old way of sales, which is beat people into submission. Tell them over and over and over the same thing, and eventually they'll believe it, and eventually they'll just buy. And it's like through attrition, we're going to make them buy. And that sleazy salesman mentality is what most people reference when they have a problem with sales. I'm not talking about that sales. I'm talking about sales that helps people.
Yeah. 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 Well, you're so right. You're so right. I have a tendency to give everything away for free. I mean, it's always like, take it, talk, all the information, all the everything. So, that getting people that I've given everything to for free for years to be like, yeah, you can drop $25 up here and I'll ship you a life-changing product. I'm learning to get past the discomfort of that. This is book number 5. I've had DVDs out. It's been uncomfortable every time, but I promise you now, after hearing your golden advice, I am not going to feel bad.
You're going to start telling them, are you ready to invest?
Are you ready to invest in your own damn life? That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're going to say it just like that. And then people are going to be like, yes. Are you ready for another one?
I am totally ready
Do
for another one.
you want something really good? I like this one a lot.
Let's go.
Never take no from someone that can't give you a yes.
Never take no from someone who can give you a yes.
Can't give you a yes. So if I go and I ask your assistant if you can come on my show, which, by the way, you're going to have to tune in to my show because Fitz did come and visit. But, okay, I'm asking your assistant and she says no. Well, is she completely in control? Does she have the ability to say yes?
No.
I'm not going to stop right there. I'm not going to take a no from someone that doesn't have the ability to give me a yes. We see this in all sorts of different forms. Maybe you're at the car wash and you talk to the person that's, the attendant as opposed to the manager. Maybe you're at a high-end restaurant and you ask for seating and you ask the host instead of the manager. Like there's all these different things. And what happens a lot of times is people just hear the word no and then they just freeze and then they just accept it as truth. My advice, and I hate giving advice. I like to just give experience, but I'm going to say my experience is never take no from someone that can't give you a yes, because they're trained. A lot of people are trained to say no as a defense mechanism, not because the answer is actually no.
I love it. I love it. That's a very good one. Extra points for you. I'm keeping score. Right now, you scored multiple points.
Let's see. All right. How about this? I really am very sensitive to how people treat other people. And I think I'm a big critic of myself. I want to be able to. So let me back up. When I was growing up, I was told you need to be able to eat with the homeless and dine with the president. Okay. And, I didn't really understand what that really meant at the time when I was told this. But I think that what it is like, you are not above anyone, but you are classy enough to be with anyone. And there's a lot of people that don't necessarily fit that bill. They might fit in with one group, but not the other. And it could go either way. It's not one or the other.
Right.
A real talent, and it takes a real, true, intentional person to be able to eat with the homeless and dine with the president. And I don't mean this in any political way. It's just more of like a saying of
A president.
Yeah, any president and any homeless person. It doesn't really matter. You need to be able to identify with those people. And I thought that was something that I've really taken with me through my life as to, we get rushed because that's just we're trying to get online to do this podcast, and we're rushing around and doing all these different things. But, time is the thing that we have that's precious. And it's such a gift in today's world when we give people time, because we have so many time wasters. I don't know if you get that, but I get like time wasters, just people asking for things and asking and asking and asking. And so it's hard to delineate those from the people that deserve our time, right? Or are really in need of our time. And so I think it's a real gift when we set back, we're in the moment, and we say, I see you. And I'm going to acknowledge you, and I'm going to be here with you, and we're going to have this conversation about something that is important to you.
Love. You're hitting it out of the park. Do you have any idea how many extra points you have right now?
2, 3?
No, there's like multiple. Keep them coming, Jed. Golden nuggets galore.
All right. How you do the littlest thing is how you do everything. So I don't know about you, but like, do you ever see people that, now I imagine you've done some fitness groups in your life. I don't know. Has that ever happened?
You mean done them, meaning taught fitness
Like
to little
taught
groups?
them, you're training people.
Spoken to them, yes.
Spoken to them.
Yes.
You're doing all these things. Have you ever seen the people that are trying to cheat in the back? They're not trying to actually do the move. They're just kind of like,
oh yeah.
They're just like, kind of like, they're cheating. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not applying themselves. They're like, she's not really paying attention. And really, you're like, you got eyes in the back of your head. You see that person in that back corner. You're like, I know you're cheating and you're not doing it. But how you do the littlest of things is how you do everything. Because it's all about when people aren't looking.
Right.
What are you doing? Is it the half push-up? Is it the non-push-up? Is it the
well, and really, who do you screw by doing it half-assed is yourself. It doesn't hurt the teacher, right?
It doesn't hurt anybody other than you.
Yeah, for sure. I like that.
All right, so I'm at 5 now. We keeping track. So here's one thing, and this is a pet peeve of mine. Okay,
I love peeves. I want to hear it.
I'll set this. Is I tell people that come work for me that perfection is not possible. Okay. And I truly don't believe that. Unless you're walking on water, unless your name is Jesus Christ, you are not perfect. Okay. Myself included. Okay. I am far from perfect. I make bad mistakes all the time. Okay. So no one's perfect. So I tell my staff or the people that work for me, I don't expect perfection from any of you. And then you know what the next question is, Fitz?
What's that?
They say, well, what do you expect?
You
know what I tell them? I only expect excellence. That's it. And then they laugh and they go, ha, ha, ha. Well, what does that really mean? And I say, listen, the difference, like perfection, you're going to screw up. I don't care how you screw up. You can screw up one way I'll help you. I jokingly say, I'll help you bury the body the one time. After that, you're burying it yourself. And then I have to clarify, I'm not really helping anybody burying bodies, but,
Yeah.
but I'll help you fix whatever mistake you make. Here's what excellence is. Excellence is simply not making the same mistake twice. If you can make any mistake you want one time, but the second you start making it repeatedly, that is not excellence. That is sloppiness.
Wow.
And so I expect excellence, not perfection.
Brilliant. In fact, I share, and it's through my book probably ad nauseum, and my children have heard it ad nauseum, but perfect is boring. I don't call me perfect. I'm almost offended when someone says I'm perfect at something. I'm specifically not. Let's not pretend. But yeah, excellent. That's great. Is not repeating the same mistake, because we're all gonna F it up sometimes, right?
Well, and you have to just be able to own it, right? Like,
Right.
yeah, I screwed up. I did this, and that was horrible. Can you help me? And like when they do that, like they never hear anything like, okay, yeah, let's figure it out. Let's just make it. It's all about the goal. Like, how do we fix it? And it's not like you did that and you're so horrible. I just have a problem. So this is my pet peeve. I said it was a pet peeve. My problem is people that repeatedly make the same mistakes over and over and over and do not learn from their mistakes. That drives me crazy. It's frustrating to me. It probably drives me up a wall. That is one of my big pet peeves.
Yeah, where that resonates right now is NFL and college football. Seeing your favorite team do the same thing over and over and over. It's like, come on, guys, work on this. Get in practice, just work on holding on to the ball or not having an offsides penalty. If we know we're bad at that, just focus. You're professionals or close to it. It's like, the same mistakes over and over are infuriating.
It's so frustrating. All they have to be is excellent. It's really simple, Fitz.
That's right. That's it. I love it. Next up.
Okay. Here's another thing that I think is interesting is you have to, in today's world, okay, you have to know this. And I don't know why people don't. But leaving messages, text messages, instant messages, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, all of those things, they never go away. So why in the world do some of you say what you say in those posts? I am like blown away. I just think to myself, this is so horrible. Like, never, first of all, I think like if you have something you want to say, I think there's something powerful about saying it directly to the person, like saying it, verbally speaking to someone about this for a lot of reasons. One is they can do this thing that's called respond. And it's really, really great because when you have a conversation, and this is where I think that I get a little frustrated because in today's world, there's a lot of people that hide behind digital devices, right? Mm-hmm. So they say things they would never say to your face. They type things out that they will never, ever really repeat in the real world. Okay. But there's like this, they're hiding behind a keyboard. They call them keyboard warriors or what have you. Not that I can't handle that. But if you wouldn't say it to a person's face, don't say it, period.
That's right.
Okay? So, and people, and it just stays out there.
Yeah.
And I'm tempted to tell this story, but I don't
Let's
know.
hear it.
I will
do it.
Story?
You should definitely tell the story.
All right. I like this story because it really highlights when you say something. So there were these two friends. We're going to call it George and Bob because George and Bob are just horrible names. And so they're not really
poor George and Bob.
If your name is George and Bob, I'm sorry. Okay, they're not horrible names. They're great names. In fact, they're the most studly names ever. Okay, so George and Bob are really good friends. Well, George decides to talk badly about Bob. He wasn't thinking about Bob. And so word got to all of Bob's friends that George had said some pretty horrible things about Bob. So George eventually felt pretty badly about this, and he went to go talk to Bob. And he asked Bob, he said, Bob, I got to tell you, like I said some really horrible things. He said, I know. They really were horrible. They were very hurtful. He said, George said, is there anything I can do to make up for it, Bob? So Bob hands George a big bag of feathers. And he says, yeah, if you want my forgiveness, I really want to give it to you. If you want my forgiveness, I want you to take some of these feathers. I want you to take them to the grocery store, place them by the front door. I want you to take some by the post office, put some there, go to the car lot, put a couple over there, go to the park, put a couple over there. And then at your friend's house, put a couple on his front porch, and then come back to me when the bag's empty. George wanted forgiveness from Bob because Bob was his good friend. So he goes and he spreads the feathers exactly like Bob had asked him to do. And he comes back. He says, Bob, I've spread the feathers exactly like you said. Will you forgive me now? And then Bob looked at him and he said, I need you to do one more thing for me. He said, hey, whatever it is, I'm going to do it. I feel really badly. He said, I want you to go back and I want you to pick up all those feathers. And George is like, there's no possible way to go pick up all of those feathers. And he says, exactly. You may want my forgiveness, and I may be willing to give it to you. But once you put something out there like that, you can never pick it back up. And so, as I knock that around, I think that the key here is once you put something out there, it's there. And especially if you're not thinking about how a lot of people become emotionally charged, right? They say something that they feel at that moment, and then it's there, and it's gonna do a lot of damage. So I would just say, this is where in my book I talk about striking when the iron is cold, which could be my next topic if you'd like.
Well, before you get there, let me tell you that, yes, I love it. Thank you for the story. My mother used to tell me, do not put anything in writing that you do not want the entire world to read. And that was before social media. But even if I wrote on a note to pass to my best friend at high school, my mother would say, have you lost your mind putting that down? The whole world could read this. And it really has made me evaluate all the words I put down. And right now, sometimes I think the most impressive thing I do is not say the thing that's on my mind. I've written the text or the email or the social media post and then delete. And especially in today's cancel culture, I'm of the true belief, I truly would judge people on the accumulation of their actions, not just a off-color word here or there. I don't believe in cancel culture for those little things, but very much in the minority because there's some wicked hags out there who will cancel the hell out of you for one stray word or comment. So you are right. You cannot just say anything and everything you want to. Eventually, there's a good chance you may face some dire consequences, and it's going to suck.
Yeah. Well, I think, and what you talked about, it kind of ties into my next thing, which is, like I said, strike when the iron's cold, right? So a lot of people have heard the strike when the iron's
hot.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But like when we're talking about tempers and we're talking about emotions, I say strike when the iron is cold, because you know what? Your best chance of coming out of any conversation, any kind of disagreement, in the absolute best possible manner that you will not regret, because believe me, I have said things I've regretted. My wife will remind me of those things for years to come. And I have to own up to it every single time. I should have kept my mouth shut. But the thing is that, if you can hold off on saying anything, if you can, and this is tough, right? It's a tough thing when you're emotionally charged and you're like, I just want to say this, and this is what needs to be said. And if I come back with this, like, look, what's the goal? What is your goal in that situation? Because whatever it feels like the goal is at that moment is probably just to feel better or feel good by giving some kind of response that inflicts some kind of pain on the other person. Whereas if you strike when the iron's cold and you take some time to go, okay, I'm going to be thoughtful with my response, and I'm going to respond in this way rather than in the moment, that is when you're going to have the absolute best outcome possible. Now, that doesn't mean there's always a good outcome.
Right.
There's some bad outcomes regardless. But as far as being strategic and thinking like, hey, how should I respond to this? And too many people bypass what their ultimate goal is to feel good.
Yeah. Brilliant. Jed, I'm again throwing extra points at you. Are you ready to catch them? Here it comes.
Okay, I got it.
Nice.
All right, thank you.
Good catch.
Are you looking for the perfect gift for a loved one battling cancer? The Cancer Comeback Series by Fitz Koehler offers hope, inspiration, and practical guidance. With Your Healthy Cancer Comeback, My Noisy Cancer Comeback, and The Healthy Cancer Comeback Journal. These books are a lifeline for all patients and survivors. Right now, you can order autographed copies at a special discount. Show your support and help a loved one go from sick to strong. Visit fitzness.com today. That's FITZNESS.com. Fitzness.com.
Interesting one. Okay, this is an odd one, and maybe you know this. What am I at? Am I 8 now? I think I'm at 8. I don't know. We'll have to. Okay, convincer numbers. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, so every single person has what we call a convincer number. So some people are one-time convincers. I say, Fitz, I'm going to work out every single day for the rest of my life. And you go, oh, Jed told me, so he must be working out every single day for the rest of his life. Other people are no-time convincers, right? I could tell you that every single day, and you're like, I'm never going to believe it. I've never seen it. I don't believe that. You're going to have a day where you're going to want to take a day off, and you're not going to exercise, Jed. Whatever it is, right? That would maybe be a no-time convincer. But most of us, do you know what most of us are, Fitz?
What's that?
We're 3-time convincers.
Huh.
So we need to hear things 3 times in order to be convinced that something is true coming from someone, right? So have you ever noticed on those infomercials, how many times do they say, buy now?
No.
If you buy now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw in the extra swivel action battle grip. And don't forget to buy now, because if you buy now, you're going to get 2 for the price of 1. And lastly, don't forget to buy now. And they'll do it 3 times. Like, just
Okay.
you're gonna be amazed now. You'll
I'm going to do it now. I'm going to take that. People are going to hear me being like, buy now this book.
Buy now. Like, do you want to have an amazing life, or do you want to suck?
That's
Like,
right.
if you want to suck, then just go ahead and don't buy now. Well, so interestingly though, people can be 5-time convincers, whatever. So like, I'll ask you this, Fitz. If you call somebody and they don't call you back, would you call again?
I would.
Okay. Second time you call, they don't respond. Would you call again?
I probably would, but you're right. I wouldn't go past a 3rd time.
But why 3?
I don't know.
Why not 5? Why not 10?
Seems harassing. Seems too much. Seems like.
And how did you come up with the 3?
I don't know.
That, like, why is 3 acceptable and 2's not, or 4's not? Like,
Yeah.
So people are 3-time convincers a lot of times. So you can ask that. Some people would say, well, I would just keep calling because obviously they didn't get my message. Or I, you know what? And you probably met people like this. I called one time. When they're ready to call me back, they will call me back.
Right.
That's a one-time convincer, right? They're convinced after one time that if something doesn't happen, that it's not meant to be, right? So if we know this, how can this affect us, right? How can we do this? I had a great conversation with actually an attorney friend of mine. He said, Jed, I read your book.
Shut up and win.
Shut up and win. He said, Jed, I read your book and I read this part about convincer numbers. And I reached out to this guy twice and I read your convincer numbers and you said most of the time people are 3-time convincers. So I thought, Jed's not looking and nobody else knows I've already tried twice. What the heck? He's like, and you know what happened? And I said, what? He said, he responded the 3rd time. He said, he got back to me and then I got an extra, I'm working on this case and this was great, for his family because he earn some additional income out of the situation. He's like, I never realized that people can be 3-time convincers. And are you limiting yourself to 3? Maybe it's appropriate. Maybe it's not. I'm not here to say what it should be.
Right.
maybe one time's appropriate with the situation. I don't know. But if you're the reason why you're limiting yourself because of your own convincer number, it may not match up with the convincer number of the person that you were trying to connect with.
I love that. You know what? There's some really usable golden nuggets you're sharing. You have a very potent soapbox today.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that way because I want to give people some real value. I don't want them to just listen to Jed just chatter it up,
Well, listen, if nobody else is taking good tips, I am.
It's
Keep
like,
on coming.
are you a 3-time convincer? Let me tell you to buy my new book 3 times. In fact, I'm going to show you this one technique 3 times, and I want you to,
That's right.
to practice it.
People are going to hear it from now on. They're going to be like, damn it, she's using that tip Jed gave to her. She's a woman of action. All right, go on.
Okay. This is another pet peeve of mine is people trying to throw authority over you when they don't actually have the authority to do that. So here's what I mean. People will, rather than just having a standard conversation with you, and these are all, if you guys can't tell, this is all based on sales, right? If you're, and sales is really just communication. Can we just all agree that just have good communication, get to what people need and just talk about it?
Yeah.
But people trying to throw authority over you, and you've probably seen this, and maybe you didn't identify it as this, but they come up with, no, and you can't talk to that person about that, and you won't. Oh, well, for me, the second somebody tries to do that to me, I'm like, oh, you're trying to control me? This is not a good move on your part.
Yeah.
What's a lot more powerful for people is to just have a conversation, right? Hey, I'm concerned that if you talk to that person, it may not be a good result. So why don't you and I first talk about this and see if this makes sense to move it forward? Is that okay with you? And collaborating with people rather than just putting up the wall and imposing this false authority that then gets challenged and then it creates harsh feelings for people is not necessarily the best move, in my opinion. Now, I think a lot of people do this. Have you seen people being defensive, Fitz?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And why is it?
Ego.
It could be ego. Most people, I say it's fear, right? They're afraid that if they let you talk to this person, they'll become irrelevant, or if they allow this to be, then they're going to experience some loss, or whatever it is. Maybe they're afraid that they're going to lose control of the situation. There could be all sorts of things. But what I found is digging in a lot of times can be counterproductive.
Yeah.
So I would say, step back the second you start feeling defensive and you start feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to dig in. Like, you're going to push me. I'm going to push back really hard but I'm going to do it first and I'm going to do it harder. Like, think about it. Think about what your goal is, really. Because it's really easy to be offended, especially in today's world. It's just easy.
Right.
People jump to this. I'm offended. Oh, you're this and you're this. And I just, throw out some, call you whatever it is, racist or this or that.
Right.
Whatever. And really, what are you doing? You're just trying to get to shut the other person down, trying to get them to shut up. That is really all you're trying to do, which, you know what? I don't know how trying to get somebody to shut up is really how that solved many issues. In fact, it's interesting. The opposite is what actually solves the issues, which is communication.
That's right.
Open communication, where you're not judgmental, right? I love how people say, I'm not judgmental. I am so open-minded. But if you tell me this, I'm going to shut you down and I'm not going to allow you to talk. Like, listen, you don't have to agree. You don't have to, and here's where, one thing that I'll say here next is that understanding is not agreement.
Brilliant.
So, and it kind of ties in with this. So I'm now jumping to another point. So I'm sorry, but when you're being defensive with all these people and you've dug yourself a hole, right? Most people think if I say, Fitz, you know what? You have a really good point. Now I've just lost. I've lost my point and now I've just given up and I've told her that she is right and I am wrong. Why did I just do that? I just gave up all my power. No. You know what it is like saying that you understand someone is not saying that you agree. Fitz, I might feel the same way that you do about this situation. If somebody had said that to me and I was looking at it the way you are, man, I could totally see that, that would be how I'd look at it. Do you think I understand, Fitz? Do you think I'm catching what it is that you're trying to do? Most people are looking for understanding, but that's different than agreement.
Yeah.
And but people can't differentiate the two.
So I'm so glad you bring this point up. I've been harping on my audience for quite a few months now on having those conversations that people tell us don't have political conversations at Thanksgiving. Don't talk about religion or whatever. I say, we are watching people get shot over their opinions, over their words. And that's specifically not okay in this country. And so the ability to say, gosh, I respect you. I'm curious about what you think. And then let them talk. And then, whether you agree or not, just say, wow, thanks for sharing. Nobody loses. But I think it's important that we learn, that we practice, especially having conversations with people we likely disagree with. I think it's super boring to continuously chat with somebody who thinks exactly the same way you do all the time.
The echo chamber.
Huh?
The echo chamber.
Yeah. But, you're right. Understanding, and it doesn't mean you have to agree, but being willing to listen and vehemently disagree and then shake hands or have a hug and move on and still not harbor any animosity is pretty big talent, don't you think?
It's powerful. It's
Yeah.
powerful because you know what it says, like, I just personally, and this is another pet peeve of mine, is people that say they accept other people, but are not willing to hear what they really think and feel.
Right.
And I agree with you. It's really tragic what happened to Charlie.
Yep.
And other people too. He's not the only one that's experienced something like that. There's a lot of things going on. And it's really, what is it? It's because of words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't have to agree, but come up with an intelligent, feeling or thought.
Yeah.
But people sometimes get overtaken by their, oh my gosh, this is really, makes a lot of sense. And I don't really have something. So I'm just going to resort to violence, and it's like, no. Why don't you resort to thought?
And conversation. Yeah. Not everyone is Hitler. You look real stupid when you start calling people Hitler. Hitler did murder millions of people. Like, beyond doing that, you look really stupid calling people names like that. Just have a conversation, have a response, and maybe, again, agree to disagree. But yeah.
You know what somebody told me one time, which I thought was really good, is if there's a problem, in any relationship that you have, you're probably the problem. And you need to look at what your part of it is, because there's one person that you can control, and that is you.
That's right.
Okay. That doesn't mean you have to accept, whatever it is. Okay. It doesn't mean that whatever that somebody else is doing is okay. But what it does is it says, you got to examine your part, because it takes two to fight. It takes two to have a disagreement. And you know what? You can first change yourself. And by changing yourself, you affect those around you.
Absolutely. Ooh, I like that bullet, Jed.
I'm going to do one last one. Is that okay?
Okay. Drum roll.
Okay.
Okay, go.
People that use ChatGPT for their arguments.
Oh, do they do that? Is that a thing?
Yes, it's really frustrating. It's like the worst thing ever. So I'll give you a real life example. I write an email. Hey, listen, I really need some help with this topic. I get a page and a half back. ChatGPT written response. Completely, in my opinion, wasting my time, because it could have just been a simple thing back. So then you respond with another human response. And then you keep on getting these chat GPT. People are chat GPTing people to death.
Yeah.
And I say, chat, I mean, it could be Copilot, could be whatever. Okay. But they are just using AI to think for themselves instead of thinking for themselves, or to create arguments for themselves. And they're allowing that to dictate. Now, here's the one thing is that if you're going to use ChatGPT for your brain power instead of using your own brain cells, then, you better make sure that you input all of the details, because chat is only going to argue based off of the information it has, which most of the time is like 25% of the context. And then you get farther down the conversation, and then it goes, oh, well, this changes everything. You didn't tell me that, this part of it was relevant. Well, now that I know this part of it's relevant, everything that we just argued is completely incorrect.
That's right.
So
And it'll own it. It'll be like, oh, you're right. Blah, blah, blah. I've actually asked Chat GPT about myself just to see what is it saying. Boy, and did it get a whole lot of things wrong, which is really, disconcerting if you're going to use that as your resource for pretty much anything.
it makes it tough, right? And the other thing is too that, and a lot of people may not realize this, I've actually put whole documents in ChatGPT and said, can you summarize this document? And it came up with things that were not in the document. It made up stuff in the document. So listen, ChatGPT is not infallible. Okay. And if you're using that as your soapbox, then I think you need to think twice. It's just a pet peeve of mine. There are telltale signs that people are using ChatGPT. For instance, ChatGPT always answers things in threes. It's really funny. You were
Okay.
spectacular, phenomenal, and an adorable person. It always has the long dash. If you put a dash,
The M dash, yeah.
if you do a dash in an actual email, it's a very short dash. If it's AI generated, it's like this double long dash. You can just look at it and go, this person didn't take the time to actually write me a thoughtful email. And I think I read something the other day, which was how people are craving authenticity. And, somebody responded back they said, I'm sick, I can't come in today. And then they had this really nice email back. And then at the end it said, would you like this to sound more sympathetic?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they were like, this was complete fake. They don't even really care about me. I think show people respect. For people that insistently use ChatGPT, at the end of my messages, I will write this. This is completely written by Jed. This is my own thoughts, and ChatGPT or any kind of AI was not used to write my email.
Brilliant.
And basically, just by telling them that, I'm like, I know you were writing this with your ChatGPT email, and this is really ticking me off.
Well, I love that. Also, I'm concerned. I like the M dash, and I do use that. So I hope people don't think that I'm Chat GPTing all my stuff. I need to go back to comma for everything.
I think you should go to comma, because
Oh,
otherwise
boy.
people are going to say chat. I mean, there's certain things you can tell aren't chat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if it's a simple response, but if you give this long-winded response that's always there's three descriptors on everything. it's like, okay, is this Fitz or is this chat? Because I think this is
Right.
chat or Fitz.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, what's so sad is you have to look at everything now and be like, is that real?
I think that is the life we're living now, and that is the reality, is that we question everything. Videos right now, we could just be two robot, things.
Yeah,
We're
we
two
could.
real humans, but you know what? Like, you could easily just duplicate us and make us say whatever you want, and call me this robot Jed and that one Fitz and
Yeah.
what
Oh my
have you.
gosh. Can you imagine?
Fortunately, we're actually real humans. We eat,
So-
breathe, and bleed. So I think we're okay. But if you're using chat for your line of thinking, and here's can I just say this last part of that?
Please say it all.
Which is someone like Fitz. You're gonna say, oh, she's gonna give you some tips on how to create a better life for yourself, fitness wise because that's her thing. She spent her whole life doing that. And then you get on ChatGPT to just double check what she says is true, and you don't have all the context. Sometimes there's a little bit of trust that needs to go into a thing called experience. And no matter who the professional is, you know a tree by its fruit. What has Fitz done that has benefited people? Has it benefited people or has it torn people down? I think it's pretty easy to say that it's benefited people. If that's the case, then maybe she knows something that isn't just accessed easily by ChatGPT. So whoever you're hiring as your professional, it's fine to ask some simple questions of chat. I'm not saying that, but there's probably some context. There's probably a reason. And if you just ask for that rather than double, triple checking everyone and thinking that chat is always right,
Yeah.
you'll probably end up with a better result.
Love. Well, you have golden nuggeted us to death. Is that a thing? Have you ever golden nuggeted people to
I've
death?
never done a podcast where it was 10 things. I really had to think about like 10 things. I'm like, oh my gosh, 10 things. How am I going to go over 10 things? That seems like so much.
But you came hard. Like we just got hit in the face with your golden nuggets. People are bleeding out there from your advice. They're like,
I don't want people to bleed. I want people to just be happy, Fitz. That's what I want.
It's successful bleeding. It's the kind of bleeding you get when you're on the path to greatness.
Expert. It's successful bleeding. Like get out there.
We wanted it. It felt good. It hurt a little bit, but we loved it. No,
it's going to be burning later.
The reality is I guest on a lot of podcasts, and I don't know if I've ever invited any of the other hosts on my podcast. There's one friend who after I talked to you, I invited her on, but I was like, this guy is sharp. He's interesting. He's funny. He's got some good stuff I want people to know. So yeah, I'm so happy you said yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Like seriously and truly, it's an honor to be with greatness. And I know that you exhibit that every day in everything that you're doing. And so I'm just truly, truly honored to have been able to be here with you today to talk through some of these things. And hopefully some of the people that are watching are going like, you know what? I like that nugget. That could be good. Maybe that'll make me think.
I'm sure there's so many. So your book, Shut Up and Win.
Yeah.
It's a sales tool or a live life tool. Tell us a little bit about the book.
I say it's basically the outline for people on how you can successfully create the life that you want. It's sales focused, right? But it's a lot of nuggets like the things that I've just shared with you, so that way with sales, with business, with life, you can go out there and you can have a strategy that helps you win. Because, what I find is a lot of people struggle where they don't need to. There's an easier way. Yeah. And it's like, the person that's like, they're trying to jam the key in the door and trying to turn the lock. And then somebody just walks up, gently puts it in, turns it, and it just opens right up. And they're like, that was really easy. If you just do it right, it's so much easier. So I would just say, for those people that are interested in that, like, it's a great book. It's got a lot of value. I hear from people all the time. They go, Jed, that was great. I'm going to use X, Y, and Z. And it's different for everybody, right? What's valuable.
So buy now, Shut Up and Win. Buy now, Shut Up and Win. And also you should buy Shut Up and Win now.
And you know what? Shut Up and Win is not only on your regular Amazon. It is also on Audible. So if you don't read much because you're busy working out, but you want something that's going to feed the mind while you're feeding your body, just download the Shut Up and Win, and you're going to be winning on both sides, in your fitness and in your mind.
I'm actually going to download that immediately after I hit end record today.
And you know what? If you like it, leave a review. And if you don't, then just keep it to yourself.
That's right. Man, the Amazon reviews are so powerful. Even if you don't buy the books on Amazon, if you love an author, if you love a book, leave the freaking Amazon review. Okay. So to wrap things up, Mr. Jed.
Yeah.
I've got 2 requests. Number 1, a communication tip.
Communication tip. Oh my gosh. I just gave like all my.
But you need another.
Okay. All right. Communication tip. Here's the thing. listen more, speak less. Okay. I know that that's just like so much easier, but the thing is like really put yourself in the driver's seat. Ask some clarifying questions for people. You will find, and I talk about this in the book too, a lot of things people misunderstand because they didn't try to understand. So I'm hungry. I want to go home. Well, why do you just want to go home? Like, we have all this fun things we can go do. Well, you know what? I didn't realize that, are you feeling okay? Actually, I don't feel well. Oh, okay. Well, this changes everything because you don't feel well. That makes sense. Maybe you want to go. Asking people questions will really make a big difference, and listening to what that is before you respond. So listen twice as much as you speak. I know that's really basic, but you wouldn't believe how many people probably could use that tip.
I love it, Jed. And some of the most brilliant people I've brought on to do Soapbox have said the exact same thing. So I'm not picking on you for being redundant. No, it's good. It's that important that people should hear it. And then our final question is song of the show. People are going to go exercise on your behalf. What should they be listening to?
Oh my gosh. And I forgot the name of the song now. It's Oh yeah, Thunder. I had to come up with it earlier. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Thunder. I think Thunder is like, a great song because you're going to bring the thunder in your life by listening to the book, by reading the book, and by taking some fitness tips from the fitzness expert. So I think you need to add some thunder in your life as well.
By Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a great song. It's really good.
I can actually see the music video on there. I've seen it quite a few times. I kind of like it. It's kind of really artsy, but it's cool. It's cool. I like their energy. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a great song. It's one I wouldn't have thought of, but I love it. Well done, Jed. Okay, so where can people find you?
They can find me at shutupandwin.com. I have my own podcast, Winning with Jed, not to take from Fitzness. But if you find some time and you wanna check out another podcast, check out Winning with Jed. And of course, on YouTube, you can just go the Shut Up and Win channel, Winning with Jed, right there. And always happy to connect with great people.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being a part of this, Jed. I knew you were going to bring a whole bunch of good stuff. And again, I don't know where you're going to spend them, but you have so many extra points to work with today. So.
I'm gonna go find somebody. I'm gonna go give them some extra points. We're gonna spread the love.
Spread the love. Okay. Well, I love you, and we love our audience. And folks, if you haven't bought Shut Up and Win, go do that. Get yourself supercharged and get to work. How about, Jed? You tell everybody to get to work.
Shut up and win, people. Get out there.
Oh, you didn't say get to work.
Get to work. And shut up and win. Get to work. Buy the Fitzness book. Quick.
That's all right. Okay, now we say I love you. Bye.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, this is Rudy Novotny, the voice of America's Marathons. We all love how much running has benefited every aspect of our lives, so much so that most of us only wish we'd started sooner. Wouldn't it be wonderful to gift the opportunity to children of today? Well, you can. The Morning Mile is a before-school walking and running program that gives children a chance to start each day in an active way while enjoying fun, music, and friends. That's every child, every day. It's also supported by a wonderful system of rewards, which keeps students highly motivated and frequently congratulated. Created by our favorite fitness expert, Fitz Koehler, morning milers across the country have run over 2 million miles and are having greater success with academics, behavior, and sports because of it. The Morning Mile is free to the child, free to the school, and is inexpensively funded by businesses or generous individuals. Help more kids get moving in the morning by visiting morningmile.com. Champion the program at your favorite school or find out more about sponsorship opportunities. That's morningmile.com. Long may you run.